Welcome back, everybody. Final half hour here on a busy Thursday show. Tomorrow, Montana State AD Leon Costello will join us, getting ready for the biggie on Saturday night between the Cats and the Jacks. We'll preview that coming up on the show tomorrow. Mentioned earlier, got some history being made this weekend in town. You know, the Bison are out of town. UND's playing later. The Dragons are on the road. You're looking for some football fix. Moorhead, Minnesota, Jake Christensen Stadium, always a great sight. But for the first time, not at 1 o'clock, they're playing at night because there's lights installed. The Cobbers will open up the 2025 season against Mayville State. Head coach Terry Horan joins us. Before we even talk any football stuff, I got to tell you a quick story. I took my family to a Red Hawks game early August. My wife and my son were getting the starting lineup, and I look up in the name like Tommy Horan. I'm like, when did that happen? And Courtney was sitting next to me, and obviously, for people that don't know, Coach Horan used to work in Breckenridge, where my wife and her family are from, taught totally the unbelievable. You got to give us your side of that when he got the phone call from Coast and how this all came together.
Yeah, pretty amazing, right? Obviously, Chris Coast he played for, but then also Anthony Renz, who finished being his coach. Anthony, who had been, more on the field coach for the Red Hawks until this year. He's kind of the behind-the-scenes contract guy now, and he's finding all the players. Well, when they had a couple of injuries with their infielders, they needed someone to come in and sign a 2-game contract, and Tommy happened to have the weekend off from amateur baseball, and he was out at the lake with his girlfriend, and he gets the call from Renzi, and he goes, "Hey, can you come in?" And he goes, "I don't know how it's all going to go or how Coast will do it, but heck, Coast put him in the lineup both days,
Yeah.
and what a great experience, right?"
When did you find out that he got the call? Where were you?
Yeah, so I was on my way to lunch after a morning practice, and he gave me the call, and obviously pretty elated, and I made it work to be able to get out there and watch him. You'll love this story, and I'll be quick with it. But the next day they had the honor flight jersey, right? Okay, and I figured, well, all right, this could be a cup of coffee with the Red Hawks. I better put a bid in for this jersey. Well, then someone's bidding against me. All right, I find out it's our bus driver for Red River Trails.
Oh.
That was bidding against me. Well, Tommy's jersey win for the most.
Oh.
And because I paid 500 bones for that thing to put it in a frame, but you couldn't leave that experience without not getting that.
That's
right?
fantastic. That's awesome. No, that's so cool. And I thought he immediately, because we're sitting there and like, this is like the nexus of things of people that we know that happened that night at the Red Hawks. And we just happened to pick a random game, and then bam, he's out there playing. That was really cool. Awesome. So I appreciate you sharing that. All right, so here we go. Game one. Yeah. I feel like we had you on when we found out this was going to be a night game. Now it's here. Does it feel real that this is 48 hours away?
Yeah, it's all kind of coming together, and the excitement is building. We have just a lot of things happening, and I love our president Colin Irvin and his thoughts behind all of this, and the Corn Fest, and Rachel Bergeson, our AD, and all of our administrators that are really putting together kind of a really cool event. And this atmosphere is going to be crazy. And when I talked about doing this with Rocky, he goes, "Heck yeah, let's do it." So, what a great experience for both programs.
When you first got approached on this, was this a slam dunk for you? You were used to playing 1 o'clock. Every MIAC game, 1 o'clock. Did you have to have your arm twisted, or were you on board with this?
I was on board with it, but you know how us coaches that have been doing this a while, we get so routine-like. So the routine of a night game is a lot different than a 1 o'clock kickoff, because you get used to what you do, right? So, that piece of it, just putting an itinerary together that we feel comfortable with to make sure that we're ready to go come kickoff. It was important for us as a staff to do. But yeah, totally on board. Every kid's dream is playing on Friday Night Lights, right? And those are some great memories. Well, now we're going to be able to have a little bit at the collegiate level.
So how's this change your whole game day? Because I know you're up early. How does this change for your whole team? That we got to pace ourselves to get ready for 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, right. Because we practice at 5:30 in the morning, so it's really a lot different. But one thing at 5:30 in the morning, it's not light out, so we're getting
It's
used to
true.
the
Yeah.
lights. So that's a piece of it. But yeah, we're gonna get our guys up in the morning, obviously, and do a team breakfast at 9:30, and then we have a team late lunch, early dinner, if you will, at 2:30, and Steve Hallstrom's doing our chapel at 3:15. So we're gonna keep that schedule all the same in the afternoon, but yeah, so a little bit more time, but we want to get them up and at it, moving around and doing little things here.
The I know there's so many people that go to your game that have gone to your games for years. Have you told them, "Hey, this is one-time deal. We're going to do this, and we need you. We need you there." What's the? I guess you talk to so many people in the community. What's been the response you've heard about for Cobber fans about doing this?
Yeah, everyone's been super, super on board, super excited. We have a lot of alums coming back, a
Nice.
lot of alums, and we're honoring, five of our former greats that have played in the NFL that are bringing out the game ball, and so that's exciting too. And but a lot of people, I mean, it's just unique, right? And it's a first time people want to be a part of it. Plus, we're doing the whiteout theme, and so that piece of it's been cool too.
All right, let's actually talk football. You've had to pick a starting quarterback. Tell me about camp and how this went for the last month.
Yeah, camp's been really, really good. We've been learning a lot about our team. We had a really good recruiting year. We brought in 64 freshmen. A few of those guys are going to be helping us out on Saturday. But yeah, we had to name a quarterback. We haven't had to do that in 3 years with Cooper Mattern. But the guy that we are going with is Jersey Selzler, a young man who transferred to us from Minnesota State University Moorhead. He's a Velva boy, so he knows a little bit about really good football, and Jersey's just he's been our backup. He knows us the best. He just hasn't had the live bullets, and he's really looking forward to that. And he's got a great supporting cast around him. It's just we're just not battle tested yet. That's what Mayville's got a little bit of an advantage on it, on us by having a
Playing
game
a
on their
game.
events.
Yeah.
A lot of
When
crazy happens in game ones.
when you were evaluating this is something you haven't had to do. You mentioned for the last couple of years because you had Cooper at quarterback. How different was that for you for fall camp? Like, okay, I got to spend more time at the quarterback spot.
Yeah, well, there's where, my offensive coordinator, Jake Pollock, he's also our quarterback coach. He's got a really good relationship with all these young men, and him and Cooper are really tight, and that's just kind of fallen suit with Jersey too, and even the other guys in the QB room. It's a great room. It's a bunch of athletes, guys that are really cerebral. They know what we want to get accomplished. So, the biggest thing for Jersey is just don't go do too much. Just distribute the football, read what you read, because he's really a football junkie, and he gets things, and it's not all on him. He's got 10 other guys that are really good football players around him, so that piece of it he's just got to remember.
You got a dude at the back end I remember covering in high school from Pelican Rapids and Mikhail Korf. What does he mean for his leadership being a senior on the back end of your defense?
Yeah, Mikhail is unbelievable. Just a great leader, right? I mean, high school quarterback. You know, dad, obviously a coach, administrator. He comes from a family that's super competitive and but he's just so calm. He's cool. He's collected. He leads by example. He's not the rah rah guy. He doesn't have to be because he makes plays all over the field, and he puts people in right places. I can't say enough for him. He'd be a great coach. He really would be.
You still get nervous for game one? You've been doing this a long time. What do you think the emotions will be, especially how different it's going to be Saturday?
Yeah, well, emotions will be high. Absolutely. I mean, if you don't have a little bit of the butterflies going on, you need to get out of the game because it's I still, it's no different from when I was a player, and obviously been coaching for 30 some years, 25 years at Concordia, but it doesn't get old. The feelings don't get old, and you want to be at your best when your best is needed, and I hope that's where we're at on
The
Saturday.
players believe that you were a blazing wide receiver, that you get down the field and make plays. You have to show them the
Heck, my
video.
own, my own kids, my own kids don't even believe that. They just come on, Dad. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, well, all right. I don't. It's hard. I'm not like I'm on 16 millimeter film. I have VHS tapes, but VHS tapes is like the 16 millimeter now. So yeah. So my kids just laugh at me, and our players. I don't even know what they think, but those were fun days, that's for sure.
For Coach Christopherson, how wide open of offense did he have? Was it pretty, or was it not?
Well, when I first came in as a freshman, all right, his rule was best time to play a freshman when he's a sophomore. Okay, that was one of his rules. I think I broke the mold there. The second thing is 3 yards in a cloud of dust was his ammo, right? And then all of a sudden, this little skinny receiver comes in from Wilmer that could catch a few footballs and had a little bit of speed. We started opening it up a little bit, and this is funny, Dom, because anytime we got in the red zone or short yardage, we'd go double tight end, tight T backfield, right? And it was a lot of power football. And Bobby Nick was our offensive coordinator, and I always took my senior year. I said, "Listen, it's my senior year. I do not want to come off the field, even when we go to tight T. Put me in the backfield, motion me out, do whatever you need to do, get the ball in my hands, and let's get things done." Well, I was able to do that. And I remember catching a 2-point conversion against St. John's coming out of the backfield in tight T. So we were able to get him to open it up a little bit and evolve a little bit. Heck, I even designed our away uniforms. We put a little gold trim around the maroon number. Ooh. And that was pretty big to Coach C.
Hey, I'm looking in the record book. It still says number 1 pass reception touchdowns. Terry Horan, 12, 1986. Bam. There you go.
Yeah, right. Huh? If anybody gets close to that, it looks like we're going to be running the football.
It's great to see you, bud. Thanks so much for doing this. Good luck. Have a great time. I can't wait to see what it looks like on Saturday night, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Hey, appreciate you, Dom. Thanks for having us
There he goes. Terry Horan, head coach of the Concordia Cobbers. They open up with Mayville State Saturday night under the lights, 7 o'clock over at Jake Christensen Stadium. I'm really excited to see that. We haven't seen it before. A first-time deal. Cobbers playing night football Saturday night over in Moorhead. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up, get you ready for a busy Thursday. The NFL opener is tonight. We'll give you all that when Hot Mike wraps on this Thursday right after this.